The immortal Hulk Hogan will never be forgotten. Hulkamania will always run wild. But yesterday we had the funeral for the Hulkster, and it was attended by some wrestlers, including one, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Today, just a little update on the funeral of Hulk Hogan that happened yesterday. Once again, just want to say rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace, Terry Bolla. Just crazy that the biggest star in the history of wrestling, and Triple H says there might never be another one like him. When Triple H knows there isn't, there hands down is not going to be anyone like Hulk Hogan again. We're not even going to get anyone close to Hulk Hogan. The errors of having Hogan's and Austin's, they're done. We will never see them again. You know, we can't even create new mid-card guys that would be, you know, we can't even create new main eventers that would be mid-carders back in the day, never mind anyone on Hogan's level. So we will never see Hulk Hogan again. We'll never see another person like Hulk Hogan again. It's just not going to happen. It will never happen. So rest in peace, brother. So in terms of who was at the funeral, Steve Sasiak from Book Pro Wrestlers has provided some additional details from Hulk Hogan's funeral, which took place on Tuesday. According to him, Vince McMahon showed up, announced, and spoke to the mourners. Triple H, Kevin Nash, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Linda McMahon were all in attendance. 92-year-old Willie Nelson was at the funeral. A Donald Trump sticker was featured on Hogan's casket. Brooke Hogan was not at the funeral. Fans, friends and legends all stood together, and Vince asked everyone to rise and give the Hulkster one last standing ovation. Everyone clapped until the tears took over. So, yeah, I respect to Vince McMahon. You know, the guy's got a lot of shit going, a lot of controversy, but he's still, you can just tell that McMahon's a real one, though, because when it comes to something important like this, McMahon is there. You know, McMahon steps up. McMahon goes to the funeral, and we see other people there that aren't. I mean, even Hogan's own daughter didn't show up. Now, I think she had her reasons. I believe she put out a post saying why she didn't go, and I mean, we can talk about that in a little bit, but you know, McMahon obviously understands, realizes, acknowledges that Hogan was hugely responsible for the success of WWE, and despite everything he's currently got going on right now, you know, he's going to turn up and he's going to pay respect to the biggest star in the industry. So, you know, respect McMahon for that. The New York Post reported this evening that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon attended Hulk Hogan's funeral earlier today in Clearwater, Florida. They also said that McMahon, Ric Flair, Dennis Rodman, and WWE Celebrity Hall of Famer Kid Rock attended the service. Now, interestingly, Jeff Jarrett, Linda Hogan, Bam Margera, Sky Hogan, Theo Vaughn, and last but certainly not least, John Laurinaitis were in attendance and were spotted at the funeral and yeah, John Laurinaitis, not too sure how close his relationship with Hogan is, but with everything happening on right now with McMahon and Laurinaitis seemingly betraying McMahon and going against McMahon and changing his story over the whole Janelle Grant case, that must have been a little bit awkward, McMahon and John Laurinaitis, if they were together and if they were in the same space. I would imagine that they would have had to have seen each other. You know, having McMahon and Laurinaitis just not in the same building because it was outdoors, but you know, just occupying the same space. That would have been very strange for sure. Also noted to be there was Paul White, aka The Big Show, Adam Copeland, aka Edge, Shax Rogue, and Jim Duggan were also in attendance. Donald Trump was not in attendance though, so I thought Donald Trump could have went to the Hulkster's funeral. I think he probably should have went to the Hulkster's funeral, but for whatever reason, he wasn't there. Ric Flair took to his Twitter And he said the following, he said, quote, "Even in heaven, he sold out again. The most beautiful funeral I've ever attended. Everyone was there, from Kid Rock to Triple H to Vince McMahon to Dennis Rodman. The whole world showed up to pay respect to the greatest of them all. Rest in peace, Hulkster, Hulk Hogan." End of quote. So, I mean, Ric Flair, clearly you can see that he's taking it bad. You know, Hogan was his friend, and we kind of criticise Hulk a lot. Not Hulk, sorry. We criticise Flair a lot sometimes because he does come out and he just says things that just should not be said at sometimes, like the whole JR thing. And so yeah, Ric Flair sometimes he does speaks out of touch. But at the end of the day, I think that he is a caring person. He does have a big heart. He is very emotional. We can criticise what kind of person he can be at times, but I mean, I do think that Ric Flair, you know, I think he is a kind person at times, but he's got issues. We've seen him act out. We've seen him pretty much be a complete dick at times as well. So, yeah, listen, there's no doubt about it. Ric Flair can be an arsehole, but I think that I think he's got some good in him too, so it is what it is. Hulk Hogan's daughter, Brooke, did explain on Instagram why she didn't attend the funeral, and she said the following, quote, "My father hated the morbidity of funerals. He didn't want one. And although I know people grieve in many ways, I'm so grateful for all the celebrations and events organised to honour him as his daughter. I had to make my own decision to honour him the best and most genuine way I know how, privately. The way that made me feel closest to him. The only thing missing today was him in his pop-up lawn chair watching the waves and the sunset. Daddy, we honoured you in the simplest way that we agreed with my soul. We took our babies to the beach and put them in the salty waters that you loved. Molly loved the water. I think she'll be a little fish, as you called me. We love you and honour the things that made you so special. Every grain of sand and every wave reminded me of being your beach baby and brought us closer to you. I pray you are at peace and know how dearly I love you. Rest in heaven, Daddy." End of quote. So, listen, I've seen a lot of people criticise Brooke or use this as a way to like attack the Hulkster by saying, "Oh, look, his own daughter wanted nothing to do with him. She didn't turn up." Yeah, did I think that she probably should have turned up to the funeral? Yes, but she's explained herself here. She says that she didn't necessarily want to go to the funeral because Hogan didn't like them, and she wanted to pay respects her own way. So here, is that true? We don't know, but I'm going to take her word for it. It's not a fucking big deal. You know, by the messages that she's put out, it seems like she certainly still loved her dad, but for some reason, you know, people will give this will give people ammunition just to try and, you know, fire at the Hulkster and try and, you know, diminish his character even more. Oh, look, his daughter didn't show up. I mean, who cares? Who cares? His daughter has paid respects in her own way, and that's all there is to it, really. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That's it. The funeral of Hulk Hogan, and it is what it is. Ric Flair there getting a bit upset. Will we ever see McMahon in the spotlight again in a major way? We don't know, but he showed up for Hulk Hogan. I'd be interested to hear what McMahon said about the Hulkster. I mean, I'm sure he could have spoke for hours and hours and, you know, would not really have covered much, to be fair. There's so much to talk about. I'm sure him and Hogan, you know, over the years, yeah, they may have had their differences, but, you know, McMahon, like I said, he is a real one. He's a true one, and he steps up in times like these. So, there you go, guys. That's Hulk Hogan's funeral. Just sad. But that's him officially now put to rest, and there will never be another one like the Hulkster. We are going to get 25 reasons why Hulk Hogan rules. Going to get that done. Going to get that done soon, promise. So, yeah, make sure you keep an eye out on the channel for that. And yeah, that's pretty much going to do it, guys. Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. You know, wrestling won't be the same without him. And, yeah, that's true, brother. It won't be. So, catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.